Good morning and thank you all for joining us today. My name is Rashmita and I'm the event planner for Microsoft Reactor Bengaluru, India. This session will run over the next 90 minutes, including Q&A. The session is being recorded and will be uploaded to our Reactor YouTube channel. I will share the link to our YouTube channel in the chat section soon. Before we begin, please take a moment to read our code of conduct. We are all here to learn together, so please be respectful of other people's views, understanding of differences, being kind and considerate in the way you engage. The chat will be open throughout, and we do encourage you all to participate. Also, please keep your mics muted during the session. I would now like to welcome Swamy, our speaker for today's session. He's an aspirant software architect and currently works at Applied Information Sciences. He loves to learn about new technologies, but for now, I will hand over to Swamy to begin the session. Over to you, Swamy.
Thanks, Rashmita. Hey guys, good morning. These are my GitHub URLs. Let me share my screen. We have a lot of things, and Rashmita will post the series YouTube series link where you can go and watch all the previous 19 episodes. This is the 20th episode. So please go watch and you'll get it. And this is my GitHub profile where all these events will be in this yearly series like speaker series 2021, 2022, like that. So some of the episodes which we started in September last year, it will be in speaker series 2021. But if you see all the episodes of year 2022 will be under this Microsoft Reactor. We can see this from session 9 till session 20, it's here. Some of the sessions in this previous one. So this episode, whatever this session which we are doing, session 20 on event-based solutions. Okay. So I was thinking to wrap both Event Hub as well as the event grid within this 1 hour 20 minutes or 1 hour 30 minutes. But then later I realized that that might not be the good idea. Why? I'll tell you. Let's take time. Let's learn the concept to a decent extent, if not deep into the weeds, at least to a decent extent, we need to learn instead of just touching upon those things. OK, I'll explain you that. And then first we'll go through this slide. It's very important. I am still a learner, even though I have gray hairs all over my face. Still, I'm a learner. So I apologize if I do any mistake. And what are we going to do? That we will speak in a minute. First, we will see that the MS Learn module, I've given the link. If you click on this, that will take you to this MS Learn module and go through this MS Learn module, and whatever I'm doing will supplement that. So the key thing is MS Learn module. So for today, we will focus on the event grid. I mean, we'll take this as a back burner. We have a next session scheduled that's for authentication and authorization. That's a pretty interesting topic. And after that, we thought of to go ahead and do a labs. But now what we will do is I will create I'll ask Rashmita to create one more event after that so that we'll have opportunity to go and look at this event ups to a decent extent. How do I find my Excel? Oh, that I can find it from here. I'll take just quick real 2 minutes time to explain the concept so that we'll be very clear what are we doing today and what's our plan. So if I go in here and I come in, so the event grid itself is a big topic which I don't want to share with Events Hub. I realized late in the game when I started doing the samples. We have enough samples. So there is one on August 24th. I'll request Rashmita to cut one for September first week or second week. I'll see that. September 24 is 3 hours lab. So till 22 sessions. We thought 21. Now one more session will come exclusively for event hubs. And session one, 3 hours workshop will be there. So in this workshop, we'll do all the official Microsoft suggested labs. Okay. So please join for those 4 labs also. You'll get benefited. It's full on hands-on, zero slide or zero theoretical stuff. It's purely deep into the weeds with the hands-on. So I'll speak with Rashmita to get one for event hubs. Okay. So one is on 24th August. That is on user authentication and authorization. That's pretty much an exciting topic for me also. And the 4 labs from September onwards, September, October, November, December, 4 3s are 12 labs. So each workshop, that's on Saturdays, each workshop is for 3 hours. So total of 12 hours workshop, we will do it full of hands-on. Now, coming to the today's topic, what are we going to do that? So at least to if not a deep dive, at least to a decent extent, we'll go and do a lot of things. So what does that blanket statement, a lot of things is? Let's go and see that. So we'll first look at it as every every event I do, I ensure that it's like 20, 80, like 10 or 20% of a theoretical thing and more of an hands-on. So this session is the same. It's no different from that. And what do we do is just we'll speak about what is Azure Event Grid is, and then we'll go fire up our Azure portal and start creating one quick demo using portal. So that gives us a little bit of hands-on experience, at least to understand or correlate with the terms. Like if I say what is event and who is the guy who's creating event, who's the guy, what is topic means, who's the guy who's subscribing for this, who's the guy who's handling this. So at least for these terms, it will be easy for us to go and understand with a visual representation or by doing hands-on. So let's do that first. Okay, and then when it comes to discover event schemes, so we'll see that I mean this will not it's not one shot thing, but we'll again and again we'll revisit. First, whatever we are doing, we'll see that, and again, like something event scheme which is coming from the system thing and something which is coming from the custom events. If you see that, this is coming from the system events. Okay, and this is coming from the custom events. So the schema will vary. Then we'll come and we'll compare and we'll see quickly what this schema is and why it is different. I've given the screen prints. And then we'll explore something on the event durability, like some of the options which we can see that like how many days time to live and how many attempts you want to do, or you want to add any other delivery properties, adding some additional headers, and how do you handle with Azure functions. We'll see that a lot of things, and how do you go and see the logs and track it. Now, from the access control access event perspective, we will let me do one-on-one on this one so that you can understand. So first we will spend at high level 1 or 2 minutes on this to understand what event grid is. And then while seeing this one piece of diagram, we'll directly go and start creating a demo. Like the first demo we'll create it. That while creating, we'll come back and we will see that, okay, what is event source, topic, subscription, who's the event analyst while creating this one. So we understand this piece. And for the third unit of this chapter, event schema, we have seen that we have couple of schemas like custom as well as the system one. So we'll see that we'll understand what each of these, at least at a high level, 30,000 foot, if not deep into the weeds. So the next thing what we will look at is explore the event durabilities. I mean, it's nothing we are going to do it, but at least to a decent extent, we'll go and see that how where we can find those things and we can configure it also. But At least we should know that, okay, what happens when we are trying, how many retries we can do, what is that we are expecting. So to a decent extent, we'll see that what is the retry policy or the time to live, how can you do it through the Azure CLI, or visually we'll see that how can we do that. Okay, and dead letter delivery. These are some of the things which are there, but our main focus will be on seeing it like time to live or retries. That's I've given that image over here. This is our main focus, retry policies. And what all the built-in roles which we have and what is that we need it. Like if someone wants to manage this entire resource, or someone should be only a consumer reader, or you should have a complete access, we can see that. That's more of a theory. And here is like system topics versus the custom topics. That's what we were seeing the message, whichever it is coming from the system or from the custom. Okay, so receive events by using webhooks. So what happens is endpoint validation. So if you see this, when you use any of the three Azure services, Azure infrastructure automatically handles this validation. That means the endpoint is exposed. Anyone can come and hit it. No, there should be a handshake. An authorized folks should be allowed. So that we can see it when we see these kind of subscription validation things. So you have a message. So here, when you first create it, so a subscription to a Azure function, and that's when it's sending this. Okay, this is a validation code, this is a validation URL. Okay. And another thing is when I went ahead and added the filters, that means don't send me all the events, send me the events only when someone uploads into this folder. So when I added that, that's when it did another subscription. So it sent another subscription, and this is there. So we can very well write this in C# code also. Uh, oh, Jesus, sorry. So if you see that, we can pretty much write the same thing, whatever it's happening from within the C# code also. The only thing is like you're getting something and you need to pass those response data and other things. But we will look how to do it through the portal uh, because doing deep dive into the C# is a next thing, but at least we should know that what these things are. But it is pretty much possible. Okay, that being said, do we have anything else? Okay, and the next important point is filtering. So how do you filter? So this is the subscription event we have seen, the filtering. Like if you see that, the what type of events you want to filter. Like if someone uploads the file into the blob or someone deletes the blob, or what happens if you rename the file in the blob. So do I need to send this event or do I need to ignore? So those things we will get a chance to see that. How can we add and remove the event types from here? And the other thing is subject filters. So if I have a blob storage here, let me come into this one and I'll come in here. So different things over here. So if I come in here and you can see this at this point of time, the last event, which was the record inserted. Now I come in here. We will do this every piece of demo. Just I wanted to quickly show you. Now I deleted that. So it says that the blob has been deleted, the previous one. So that is in the uploads folder. OK, now I want to try uploading something to this folder. I'm doing this test file txt. So I uploaded that. So what happened is we received blob created event here. Now when I go back to the containers and get into the personal container and try deleting any one of the file, I deleted this file. When I deleted this file, if I come, it didn't hit this. Why? That we will see, because that's what we configured. The filters has been configured on that. So that is the reason, we are not getting that message. But if I did filtering only for that application, the viewer application, but I didn't filter it for this Azure function. So technically within the personal folder, if we go and see that within the personal folder, is it blog? Is it in the personal? Okay, this is on okay, we have to wait for a couple of minutes. So this is the previous one. And when it comes to the new item, it has to be 346. Let's wait for a couple minutes. It will definitely come back. You can see that. Or did I do that? Or else we can do it while we are creating it. The live demo, we'll see that. It's not a big deal. Okay, we have uploaded that. And we have in this one. Let's wait and see that. That should be fine. Fair enough. And then the next thing is what will route custom events to web endpoint, that we will do a live demo. And I thought that with all this much of content, we have it in hand without doing hands-on. If we directly go to the events hub, I thought that I'm not doing justice. So I said that I'll do an extra event, extra 1.5 hours exclusively on events hub. Okay, so folks, you guys are ready to go on this journey? So let's do. Now. So I just did all these experiments in one of the resource group. I just keep it as it is. Uh, just in case my demo fails, I have a backup plan to go and show that. So we'll do live in the another resource group, which doesn't have anything, Okay, so let's start with this. First, we'll come back over here and let's go step by step. I think event hubs, we said we'll do it exclusive session. I'll remove that and will not focus on it. And let's come and see introduction. Like, let me open up all the URLs here. Overview. Like, what is this event grid? And this is like a serverless event broker, which is event based. It's used for the event based architectures. That means anything which happens, we'll come back and we'll see that what events are and other things. But at least if you see that pictorial representation, that speaks a lot. So anything which happens either in blob service or Azure resource group, subscription, event hubs, IoT, service bus, Azure maps, a lot of these services on the left side, including we can send this our own custom events from our application to this event grid. A lot of this services, Azure services, as well as our application, we can send the events to this event grid. And after that, what happens? So once we receive the message or the event at the event grid, this event grid can send further down to the downstream systems. That means we can send this event to a serverless computing, or we can send it to the service bus for workflow integration, or we can send it to a storage or to the event hub, or you can have a webhooks. So first of this, I'm planning to do one in each of this section. So enough, we have enough time for that. So that's what I'm thinking. So let's start with this workflow, at least the starting piece. So let's come and spend 2 minutes of our time on this one. We saw that it's like a eventing back pain where bunch of things will come, and based on that, someone will react on this one. So someone created a resource in the resource groups. It comes to the event grid, and we can use this logic app to send that message to the project owner. Like I have my resource group and all the resources, whatever it is being created. there will be a charge code and they are going to charge for that resource group. They have a tag and they will charge it to my project. And I wanted this kind of integration. So anyone creates a resource inside the resource group, I should get notified. So I'll go back and track it, whether I approve that or I want them to go and delete that, create it in your own subscription. So that kind of thing. So we'll see that. Events means what happened. Someone created a resource or deleted a resource or modified an event source. Who did that? Or the source where it happened. And the topic is the endpoint where publishers will send the event. Like someone created a resource in the resource group. So I have to notify someone. So I'm putting it into the topic. It's something like that. In a post office or a post box, we will slot the letters based on the postal code, like which area it is. So we'll track it. So postman will take and drop those letters in or in the entire area. So similar to that, topic is a slot where you pile up all these events. And subscriptions is someone who's interested in knowing that. Okay, someone who's interested in knowing that, oh, what happened? I want to know that. So we'll uh, create a subscription for on that topic. Okay, something happens on that topic, I should get notified. And a handler, the app or someone who's reacting on this one. Okay, so let's go ahead and create our first this thing. Okay, we can create a events here also. And when we create this here, we can go ahead and do an integration from here also. But we'll come back and we'll see that. I just wanted to give you a tip that events is the place where we will do it. So the first thing, let's come back to this one and let's create a very simple one. First, let's do it through the portal. Then we will use it different mechanisms to do it. But let's do it through the portal at first. OK, what is happening? There is a application which is already developed. And I want to show that. Now, this one. This is from Azure. So you can see this is the application which we will be using it. Whatever you're seeing here, that's coming from here. So if you get into that, you see that there is a Signaler hub. You have it, and there is an updates controller, that's API/updates. So this guy receives the message in this endpoint, you'll receive that. And home controller, you have it. And here in the views, we will see all the messages, whatever it is coming, we are going to publish it. You see this, all the messages is there. And you should have a delete button somewhere here. See trash icon. So whatever you're seeing is this application. So this is here eye icon and there is a trash icon here. That is this application. Right. So first thing what we will do in this one is we will create a storage account. And after creating the storage account, we should create a message endpoint that we will directly deploy this ARM template. So this ARM template comes with all the configuration and it is creating, it's a good guy. It's creating the free service of the app service. And we have to give this endpoint. So that means it's technically it's going to deploy the web application. OK, and then what we will do is we'll go to the application he is here. We'll keep it open. And then we need to create the subscription. So subscribe to the blob storage. So we go to the events and click on more and webhooks because we need to hit a web endpoint. So that's what we will select this webhook. And inside that webhook, he'll come here at the endpoint and we'll select that as a webhook. And that is this /API/updates. So if you come here, you see that is this updates controller over here. At the top, you see that API/updates. So that's what you're giving it as an endpoint. and then the subscription is done. So now whether you upload or you delete, you'll get that event. You will see that, right? So we'll add the blob or we delete the blob, we'll see that. Okay, that's the first exercise. So let's do step by step real quick so that it will be a good practice session, and as well as we will be able to understand how the things are. So first let's create a storage account. I'm calling it as demo one storage. Lack of better word, I'm using that. I'm creating a storage account. I have a storage account. What is this demo? Storage account events. So let me drop it in this event based dev demo 2. This is storage events demo. I'm calling it storage events demo. Did someone take this or is it available? It's available. OK, I'm taking the LRS over here and I'm just doing a review and create. Sometimes it doesn't do a validation. It fails here saying that the name has been taken. OK, I think looks like we do have it. Give me a minute. So all the resources, whatever we are provisioning, it doesn't take much of a time. It's very easy. It takes pretty fast. So there's created all the demos previously since last night and this morning. Just in case if something doesn't work, I can fall back on the already created one. So that's my intention. I just did that. And while we are waiting for this one, I want to, OK. This is AZ mask. It's a Chrome extension. If I open this in my other Chrome, in this one, which is hooked up to my Gmail account, you will clearly see that this is the Chrome tool. If you want, you can use that. OK, here is this storage account which we have created. And let's create a container, 2 containers. One is we'll call it as uploads. And one we'll call it as personal. One we'll call it as personal. Couple of things we can see these demos over here. So I'm in the storage account. We just created 2 containers. We didn't do anything. Now, how do you start? Let's go and see this picture. Here is a storage account. Now, somehow we need to send that actions, whatever it is happening, the events which is happening, we need to communicate to the event grid. At this point of time, we don't have the event grid with us. OK, we'll create it now. So here in this, we created the storage account. And the next thing is we need to deploy a message endpoint. So I'm just clicking on this, copy the link address. I just copied the link address and I'm coming back to this one. What is the name which I've given to this one? App event grid viewer 10th August, or else event grid demo 1. That's what we'll use it. Because last night someone already taken that. I'll call it as a demo 2. So let's drop it in the same resource group, and it is yours. What's the site name? I'm calling it as dev002, just to match with the naming convention. So I'll take this. I will change it as plan for the app service plan. That's F1. And this is the URL. You can see that the repository, they are giving everything in this. You don't need to do anything else. Just click on that and create. Click on that and you create it. So we have created the storage account and we have created a couple of containers. Now we are creating a web application, which is an endpoint. Technically, that's an endpoint. If you see here, that's a endpoint. We're creating it here, right? So we have this application, which has got a visual interface as well as the endpoint. We'll come and see this. So event grid is already enabled. I don't need to do. If not, you need to do this one. Now subscribe the blob storage. So let's wait until we get this things created, because we just want to see that visual interface and then we will start the next step. Then we can do the multitasking, but at least let's wait for a minute to see that it will be under apps. Okay, that's cool. I'll come into this one. Okay, it's over here. So I'll open this in a new tab here. And let's navigate to that app here, demo dev002. So I'm clicking on this. So you have this at this point of time, but eventually it will show that. So let it be here. Right? Let it be there. And the next step is we need to create an event. So you need to go and click on event, more options and webhooks. And inside the webhooks, we have to specify the endpoint with API/updates. Let's do that. It's pretty simple. So let's go to the storage account and we have this events and let's create. You can send this directly to Azure Function. There are a lot of built-in and you can send it to the Logic app, Azure Function, Storage Queue, Webhooks, Event Hubs, a lot of things are there. So let's go by the books. And what is this subscription? So event subscription send to viewer. OK, that's what I'm calling it. And this filters, we will see that at this point of time we can discuss, but I'll park it now. So we'll discuss that will be more appropriate. So instead of Azure Function, Storage Queue, Event Hubs, Hybrid Connection, Service Bus Queue, Service Bus Topic, Partner Destination, a lot of things are there. Let's select Webhooks. We'll see, we'll create Azure Function demo next, and then we'll do a custom app also. The endpoint should be API/updates so that you can see it on the controller. So API and updates is a controller name. So API and updates. So you do a confirm selection. And that's when you create. OK, this is system topic name. I'm sorry, I forgot that. OK. Event sys topic. This is demo one. OK, event sys topic demo one. So that's where you will see the topic getting created, and within the topic, the storage account is subscribing for that. So that means let's go and visually see that what is happening over here. So here the storage account is there. You have an event grid, and here you're creating a topic, and this blob storage is sending the message to this one. And this event grid is sending it to the webhook. So that's what is happening in this end to end. So let's see that. Did it create it? Let's come back to this demo 2. you see that we have event system topic, and within the topic, looks like someone has unmuted his phone. So see that that's the one. And event types, you will see here what all the types which is, and the provisioning state. Now what we can do is we'll come back to this and click this one. You see that it is showing the app now. It is showing the app now. So let me come back to the containers over here. So let me go to the upload folder and upload a file. A.txt. Now when you come that, it shows that blob has been created. Now this, we will come back to discover the event schema. So you can see this, there are two types of schemas. One is the cloud schema you can see, and one is the event schema by default. You can see that the topic is not required. The subject is required, event type, event time ID, and data is an object that is very specific to who is providing. Is it a custom application or blob storage or resource group, whoever is providing. And the data version, we'll see that we'll create our own custom data and send it. That's very shortly. Oh, just avoid the confusion. I'll do this. I'll close this previous version so that we have to deal with only one version. At this point of time, we have this. This is, understand guys, this is the event grid system topic. It's not a custom topic, it's a system topic. So anything which is created by the Azure resources it will create the system topic. So now what we will do is I'll come back to, I don't need this. Why is this guy troubling me? Ooh, come on, please give me the control. OK, so now I will go ahead and delete this file. I'll go ahead and delete this file, and I get this deleted. What is this? OK, let it be. I don't want to waste time. So hope you guys are seeing my screen properly. And now I'm going and uploading another thing inside a personal one. So now upload it to the personal folder. And even that is being triggered. Now, if you observe that, what is that? Is you're getting a topic, where is this? And you're getting subject and event type, and you're getting ID and the data block, which is this is what we were discussing. It is very specific to the sender who's sending it. It says that API put block and client request ID, a lot of other things are coming in. But net, what we understand is you see the data version. What is this? Now let's come back here. Let's come back to this storage account. Let's go back to the event subscription. OK, event subscription sent to viewer. So I'll come to this one. And here, delivery properties. In the delivery properties, we can add additional headers, which I never used it, but we can add that. And another thing what I just want to highlight is the maximum retries and time to live. That depends how many times you want to retries, no retries if you're OK missing that particular message, or you definitely need it and then drop it to the dead letter queue. Then comes the filter. So, God, this guy is making my life tough. Oh, thank God, now it's good. Let's come back to this one. And I will open another instance of this storage here. And I'll go to the storage browser. And let me go to the blob containers. Let me go to the uploads. And let me upload a file again here. Browse the file. I'll upload a.text. Override if exist. Okay, it has come in here. So now I selected this and I want to rename it. I said rename and I'm telling ab.text. I changed it, but I don't see that coming in here. Okay, so what we can do is come back to this event subscription and we see there is something known as blob renamed. So let's select it and click on save. Click on save. Let's give it some time. It has saved it. Now again, come back to that storage explorer. Now I'll select this and rename and ABC. And that should. Okay, see this? Why it is deleted? Oh, created. Yeah, that's what. So previously it didn't. If you see that when it was when we created ab.text, it didn't fire the notification. But you see this validation subscription when you told something like I want to add new thing. So this is where it's doing the handshake, which we have seen it in the previous unit. Here in this unit, the webhooks unit, we have seen that the endpoint validation. So when any of these things happens, sometimes it automatically handles the uh, handshake validation. So that's what we are seeing at this point of time here. And another key thing which we need to observe is when we rename file a.text to ab.text, it didn't fire these two. And then what did we do? We came back to that storage account and inside this filter event types, we add an extra option. We said that apart from blob created, blob deleted, fire the event, even someone renames the blob. That's when AB file has been renamed to ABC, you see that it deleted the AB file and it recreated the ABC. This is clearly evident because it is sending the event message saying that, hey, I deleted AB text and I have created abc.text. A quick break for water. Okay, so now coming back to our another way to filter. Now this personal is there. And I'm calling it as personal -1 and I rename. We should see that. I don't want my personal files events to be passed. Technically, I should not use it in the project folder, but just I'm creating a scenario like project manager is having some personal files which he don't want that to be sent. So in this case, what we can do is again, we can come back to this and understand one thing is here in the subject. It's this one. I want only if someone uploads to this folder. Do let me know. I'll come back over here and add the subject filters. And I'm saying that and save this. And you can have go deep into the weeds like advanced filters and all those things. But I think this is to a decent extent we can call this a demo and we can go to the next phase of the events. And now when I come back to my storage account. And now again, I'll select this. I'll rename this 1 to 2. And I should not see that. So see that there was a subscription validation event, we updated something. We said that, okay, consider only that uploads. And here we said that we have added more of an event, like 2 events were there. We added the 3rd event. And here we said that focus only on the uploads folder. So when I come back to this one, see whatever we did, it didn't impact that. And I can come in here and browse a file and upload this test file, override if exists, and this test file should be sent. Okay, so let's come back and see what all the things which we have covered. So at least at 30,000 foot, we said that it's an event-driven architecture. And we explored the events. On the left side of the equation, there is set of sources. It could be the Azure services, or it could be the custom apps. Those are sources which inside that there can something happens, some event, some action has happened. So that event, we are sending it to event grid topic. So we can specifically create another topic which only focuses on one type of actions. So one topic for resource group actions, one topic for Azure subscription, one for event up. We can have multiple topics. And on the right side of the event, we can subscribe to that particular topics, even though we can have multiple event grids topics, but we can focus only on few and we can process it. So we have seen this side of the equation, the blob storage sending the event and webhook is processing it. Now let's do a Azure function. Right, so let me close all these things. Do I need this? I'll keep it just in case if the demo doesn't work. I definitely need it. Okay, so I will come pretty closer to this. And this one I'll reorganize here. So we have less things to deal with. That's 001. This is 002. Come on, let's come back to this one. So let's go to the documentation. We have seen that the storage event we completed. Now we will work on Azure function. We'll come back to the custom events handler. Let's see this one also, because we'll see how much of this versus this we do. So one is done. We'll do it two. We'll see storage queue and we'll do a custom events. At least I want to complete all these demos. So here you can see that it is system topic. That means Azure service has created. We'll create the custom topic also. Let's wait for that. So first thing is what we have to create is we have to create an Azure function. And the handler type, the trigger type is Azure event grid. Something happens to that event. I mean, something coming into that event, it will hit this Azure function. OK, and then we will create an this piece. We don't need it, and we need to create a custom topic. This is where you see that we'll go and create the custom topic, and then system topic. It's getting created from the Azure service itself. So we'll create a custom topic here, and after the custom topic has been created here, the next thing is we need to create a one second. We'll create a custom topic, and the custom topic has been created, and then we will go to that subscription where we will create a new subscription, and then we will add the Azure Functions endpoint. So that means any message coming into this particular event event grids topic, anything which is coming to this particular event grid topic will be sent to that Azure function. OK, so we'll see in action. It will be very easy. When I speak in air, it will be a little tough, but when we do it, it is very simple. OK, so when I was explaining, I was confused. So once we do it, it is pretty clear. It's very, very simple. So we have to create an Azure function and function app. Let's create a function app. And inside this function app, we'll create, okay, uh, func app receive event grid events. Okay. And I'm saying that that's in .NET 6. Want it in East US. Windows flavor. And I want that to be with the app service plan. And create a new. These are some of the naming conventions I just follow. Review and create. So now what we are doing. Now we are doing this piece and this piece. Then we'll hook this up here. But at this point of time, we are creating this only part 1 and part 2. 1 and 2. Previously we did 1, 2 and 3 webhooks like blob storage events, sending it to event grid topic that we were sending it to webhooks. Now what we are doing in the second demo, we're creating this and hooking up to the Azure function. Then we'll come back how to send it. Okay, at this time, assume that some custom application is sending it. So this is what we are simulating. Some custom application is sending event to this one. That's when I mean, who will drop a message? Someone from here on the left side of the equation has to drop it. Okay, so I think while you can see this operations, this shows that how many milliseconds or other things. Okay, I have that AZ mask, so it doesn't show any of these things. That is done. Let's come back over here. Give me some extra space. Where is that? This is for the func app. And here is my function app. And inside this function app, you see that, folks, right now we have only this one. That's what we created, the first step. Okay, now we need to create a topic because someone drops a message to this topic. From here, we can send it. It's not going to stop us. I want to show you one more thing. If there is a system topic which is already there, and this guys, someone has unmuted his phone. If this event, system event, we can add an additional subscription. It is not going to stop us. So what I'm telling is event. Rashmita, look, I'm still hearing some humming voice. Event sub send to func. Okay, so the same, we'll add the same 3 events, including the rename. Here, what I'm telling is instead of webhooks, I'm sending it to this one and select the endpoint. And right now we didn't create the function, but it has located it. I can send it to here. This one also. We'll see that how to send the event, the system received events to function app, as well as the custom events to function app. Let's hook that up both. So first let's create a custom topic. Okay, so we need to search for event grid topics. Let's search for create event grid. So you see that event grid topic, event grid partner, so and so, so and so. But you're not seeing, one thing you're not observing is the system one, because system one will be created by the resources which is in Azure. So this, when you're locating this as part of a service, that means you're creating a custom topic. So that's rightly placed here. So this is event grid custom topic. Region is always TCS. And I'm just going ahead and creating that. Right? So while this is being cooked, we can come to that Azure function and we can add a new Azure function. Let's go and add a new Azure function. Yeah. Let's come back over here and give me some space. Let's go to this Azure function and let's add an Azure function. So let's create an Azure function. So you can see that. Scroll down, Azure event grid triggered. And if you scroll down, func event grid trigger. So I'm creating this function. So that creates this function. And it gives us a message. In the meanwhile, let me steal some piece of code, some extra lines, nothing, not a big thing, just a couple of extra lines to spit the event ID, what is the subject, and those kind of things. I'll go back to this one and insert the function handler. I paste it here. So we'll see these messages. I mean, in the interest of time, I'll just keep it as it is, like without using the string interpolation and adding the message and all those things, but at least this is there. Okay, so now we have the Azure function, which receives the message. We got accepted 202, but internally error experienced. That it doesn't matter. It will work once we hook it up to the event grid. It will definitely work. So let's come back to this one. So now if you see that we have two things. We have the system event grid system topic and event grid topic. That's a custom topic. So let's see that. Can we send the system topic, which is already having one subscription? Yes, we can have additional subscribers. We'll see that. Now I'm saying that event subscription sent to func. Rename, and the endpoint is, instead of webhooks, we'll say that function app, and select an endpoint, that which resource group, what is the function. Now it will recognize there's a function. I'm confirming the selection. Okay. So now, since long, there wasn't any items over there. Now, if you see this here, it shows a pretty much a lot of things. You can see that did anything fail, or what is the latency graph. It shows that what time the initial message, it took 500 milliseconds. From there on, it's all fast. And was there any errors or a general message? You can see this metrics, like how many events has published, what matched, and how is that it is splitting. And one important point to observe is when we hooked up this Azure function with this event topic, you should see a validation event here. Then we'll come here, and here it shows the filters. And if you had the JPG or type of pattern, it shows it here. But at this point of time, the types, we don't have any filters. So any message which is coming in here should technically appear to the inside the Azure function also. Let me open this Azure function in a separate tab. So that helps us to validate all the messages. So I go to this Azure function, and that's a func trigger. And let me go to the monitor, and I'll choose the logs instead of the previous invocations. I think first invocation has failed because we tried testing it from that test tool. It failed. Never mind. So what is that? We have it here. And where is the storage account? This is a storage account. When we send this storage account, what is that it is happening is when we do action in storage account, that sends to the grid, which sends to the webhook. Also, it sends to the Azure function. So that's what we are trying to do it here now. Let me go to the container. And inside the uploads, let's upload a.text. Let's upload the a.text. The text has been uploaded. And you're seeing that it perfectly sent a message. Also, you see that the a.text. So that means what we did is we created event with topic, and we hooked up to the Azure function. So that's the custom topic. But now what we do is we hooked up the system event with topic to the Azure function as well as to the webhook. Now we'll see how do you send directly to this custom topic. First, let's hook up this custom topic, which we don't have it at this point of time. If you go to the system topic over here, you can see that there are two subscriptions, one for the webhook and one for the Azure function. You see this one for the webhook and one for the Azure function. And you can come and do a deep dive into this. It says that what is the topic on which this will be triggered. So someone sends a message to this topic and that triggers, and you can see that how many delivered and it matched, and that means it went to this endpoint. So at least it is giving you a visual representation how the things are happening. Now let's go to this viewer, app viewer. So it's sitting event system topic demo one. If someone sends a message to this topic, and that's going to trigger this webhook endpoint. So you're getting these messages, it got mapped. Now let's go to this custom topic. And it doesn't have anything over here. So we'll say that event subscription sent to func1. OK. Event types, we can say that Cloud Shell, AZ Cloud Shell, because we will be sending it from the Cloud Shell. And I'm saying that here I can add the endpoint. It will route it to that. We'll do that one also. First, we will see this. Because if we add multiple things are not working, we don't know because why it is not working. Is it because of the webhook or because of the Azure function? We don't know. So let's take baby steps. If at all it is failing, we know that why it is failing. So let it complete this. Now we see that that's a custom topic and we do have one subscription. Now let's go to this. the multiple ways to handle it. Okay, so to this topic, if you want to send, you can use this endpoint. Okay, you can use this endpoint and you can get the access key from here and you can work on that, right? Or else we can use these kind of things. So let me go here and copy a couple of these comments. Oh, it's there here. Why should I copy? We just created this and we hooked this up. Even that's done. So the next thing is we need to come back here. That's one command and there's another command and that's another command. And this is what it sends. OK, so for the topic name, this is event topic name and then resource group name. Now come back to this. Here. This is the name of the topic. OK, and this is the name of the resource group. Copy these two, go to this Cloud Shell and clear tasks and paste these two. And you can echo event topic name. You see that and echo dollar RG name. So you see that. OK, now we have to replace the dollar topic name with this. And here also in this topic name, we'll replace that. And the next thing what we need to replace that resource group name. Why are we creating variable Cs? If you have 10 commands, you don't need to go and modify this. Suppose you want to execute the same set of commands with another topic inside the same resource group or another topic inside another resource group. You don't need to worry about it. Now see this, when we execute this first command, that's going to get us the topic endpoint. OK, echo dollar endpoint. So you see that the same thing we have seen it here. The same thing we have seen it here. I paste it. OK, see that there's no difference, but we are doing it programmatically. You don't need to open the portal. That's what these commands are helping us. Now we're getting the key. Now if I do echo dollar key, it's coming from the access key. So now we bought these two. And next what we are doing is we are constructing some message. OK, this is monster. So let's send the first message. Send the first message and we are doing a curl operation. Paste. So there's the Azure function. We have sent the message to the custom topic. And that's the custom topic. And there is a subscription. It will take little bit time. So event types is this one. And let's come back over here. Let's check the latency. The message is yet to come. OK, the message is yet to come. You can see that. And we can hook up the another one while we are waiting for this message, let's see, did it receive the message? Yet to receive. No problem. We'll hook up the Azure function, then we'll come back to this one. What is that currently we have it? One which is going to the Func app. Now we'll hook it up the same API endpoint so that whatever the custom messages we are sending, it will appear over here. So that's the one. And we are calling it as event subscription to viewer. Okay, now we call it as AZ cloud shall be one. And let's send it to the webhook. And let's select the endpoint slash API slash updates. And we create that. Now there is a subscription, and that's when we see this subscription event. Okay, now let's go back here and refresh. Now we see these two. Let's see, did it receive the message? There is latency still. What? Wow. Okay. We call it as a V1. And let's send this. Let's see. We didn't receive there. We didn't receive it here. Sometimes it might take a little bit time, but that, yeah, I told you, isn't it? It's taking unmatched. Okay, published. It didn't match, so it was not delivered. Okay, event type. So did we do some mistake? Okay, it's record inserted. That's my mistake. I'm sorry for that. Event type should be AZ Cloud Shell because that's coming from this application. That's coming from this application. So let's paste it over here and send this. There you go. So we were able to send the event, and because it has to match the type. So let's do one more thing because we have another thing also. AZ Cloud Shell V1. Was that the name I've given to it? Yeah. Can I change it? The event type. Because it's becoming like a little bit of overhead for us to go and modify that. Let me see if it gives me an opportunity, or I can add, isn't it? Easy Cloud Shell. Any one of the event. Anyone out of that or this. So now that should appear here when I send another message. So let it be this one itself. So we are saying that monster V1. So that's a vehicle type. And let me come back here and paste it. And did it receive here? This time what did I do? Yep, it's a easy cloud shell. Oh, I didn't send a message. I'm sorry. Twice I repeated that. Um, you see that we got monster v1. Technically, this guy should send it here also. He didn't send. So let me go and, oh, sorry. I forgot to save this. It's my mistake. The time and again, I'm doing mistakes. I am bumping up to V2. Let's go back to this. Hope this was saved. Let's go here and go back to the Cloud Shell and paste this. Now the monster v2. Now we send the message. Now we should see that we received the Cloud Shell. And you can see if we upload a message here, maybe rename the file. Okay, I'm not in that Cloud Shell browser. So personal file I'm uploading. That appeared here. You see the schema difference. So this is coming from the system. And this is coming from the custom topic. That's what we have seen it. But it is adhering to the schema. You see the schema def here. See the topic and subject. Topic and subject. And then ID, event type and time. ID, event time, event type is easy cloud shell, and the topic and the data. And as we discussed, data is very specific to the app which it is sending. So here we are only sending this object, but here in this blob created, it is sending a different object. So suppose you have multiple applications and you want to route all your applications through this, you can very well do it. No, we did see this. We did see this. And what is there in this custom event handler? So this is technically the same thing. We have the viewer and we are creating another custom topic. OK, and create a message endpoint that we already have. Subscribe to the custom topic. So whatever we did it through the portal, we will be able to do it through the command line. OK, so why don't we go and do this? So when we see something, it will be very scary and it will be confusing. So to avoid that confusion, we need to go and work on it. So let's create a custom topic. Let me come back to the notepad, copy these comments so that it will be easy for us to work on it. Let me create a divider kind of thing. So we have the topic name, custom topic, we call it as V1. And let it be within the same resource group. So let's replace this with dollar topic name. And this guy using this. Oh, I'm sorry. This itself is the name. He is already using it. And resource group name is this. We'll use dollar resource group. Let me copy this. So we know that these are the two commands. So we are saying that create a event grid topic, and that's we are calling it as V1 because that's what we are doing it here. And a message endpoint we have already created. Now we need to create the subscription to the custom topic. Yeah, sorry. Okay, endpoint is, we know that. What is the endpoint? Let's take this endpoint and we don't need to worry about all those things all the way till here. Yes, that's what is our endpoint, which we uh, have already created. So we don't need to do that again. Okay, now we are saying that AZ grid event subscription create. Okay, the source resource ID is that, yeah, this guy is going to create this subscription and all those things. Now, better we'll create it our own. At least we can execute these two commands. These three commands will execute it, and rest we can do it manually. And it doesn't make sense to go and copy paste all those big things, subscription ID and all those things. It creates a lot of problem. See this, it's creating a new subscription. Let's go to that. We should see. Okay, it created. See that? It created. Now we can go and create a event subscription to grid viewer. Okay, and again, this is AZ Cloud Shell. And we know the endpoint. That's the endpoint. Know that. And select this endpoint. We have this subscription over here. Let me go back. Now again, we need to execute those two of those commands. Event grid. Now this time, instead of this, we should use the endpoint, because that's the new thing which we have created, isn't it? This was the previous one. This is what we need to create, because we need to send to this the newly created custom topic. So we'll create that. What else? Hold on. What is that? Created. Oh, I'm sorry. That's a topic name. I'm really sorry. That's the topic name. It's my mistake. So let's paste it over here. And the next thing will retrieve the key. Technically, I've shown you from where we can get these two. And next thing is it should go with this Cloud Shell, AZ Cloud Shell, because that's what we said the topic. And this V1 and the event types is one of the event types is that we can add more, but that's one of the type. Let me come in and paste that. That is monster. You getting it? Oh yeah, because first one, it takes a little bit time. We saw that because by the time it receives it, it takes a little bit time. But net what will happen is it will definitely come and it will definitely come here. So we can additionally see this. We can come to this resource group and hook this event subscription from RG. Okay, what is the system topic? Okay, under which one? Hold on. Will it need a new one? Let me give it. If it gives error, then we will see. Okay, so technically all 9 events are there. And let's send this to this func over here and endpoints API / updates. Let's send this to this. The only thing I'm a little worried on that I told is that it says it already exists. Okay, that should be fine. Fair enough. Let me come back to this and see whether it is sending it or not from here. There'll be a little bit of latency for the first time, which we have seen it. See, now that it has come. So technically, are we seeing this message or do we need to send it again? No, it didn't process. It didn't process that. We'll see why. Okay, it's not a delivered. The message is yet to be delivered to this topic. It is yet to be delivered. Or it goes into unmatched. It's a Cloud Shell. And that's what we are sending it here. Yeah. Oh, Jesus. There's an extra hyphen. There's an extra hyphen. So now that we remove that hyphen, we send it. We saw that here. So that's it, folks, because I just want to cover all these demos so that, at least to a decent extent, we will know the interactions between how the events are getting generated at source and how we are routing it. And what is that events which get generated from the Azure services and what is that it gets generated from the custom applications. How does that go to the topic? And from the topic, we can have multiple subscriptions routing it to multiple different partners or pieces who are very interested to get this information. And we have seen how do you get that information and how do you process. And further, if you combine this session with the sessions which I discussed on Azure Function, that itself will be a mid-size solution we can create. Now you had a message. Now it hits the Azure Function. From Azure Function, you drop it to the storage queue. And that will be picked up by another Azure function, put it in a blob. Another Azure function takes from the blob and put it in a service bus queue. Another process takes it from the service bus queue and do it. It's like a mid-size enterprise grade project, isn't it? So only thing is we need to know this. If we see the theoretical thing and the long documentation will be very scary. But once you do it, it's pretty simple. See this when I was seeing it, uh, I was also very scared. When I did it, it was good. My understanding is blob triggers it. Okay, cool. Folks, so I will speak with Rashmita to get a slot in September first week because I don't want to disturb the authentication and authorization piece. That's like fantastic thing. I am very much interested and looking forward for that event because we'll see some of the under the hood, what happens, how does the authentication and authorization will happen. We might stretch 10-15 minutes on that topic because I want to complete that in a single session. I have the demos ready for that one. So we'll see that. If something spills over from that, so from apart from the event hubs, anything which is spilling over from authentication authorization, we can take it in the September first week before we do the 3 hours, 4 labs. So from September 24th onwards, monthly one Saturday, we will be doing it. Um, we'll be doing the workshops. And what is next coming from Swamy's Kitchen is we I'm starting a new series on Docker and Kubernetes. Okay, just give me 1 minute. Let me pull out the content. What is that which we will be discussing in that? Yeah, once again, this is the one, right? So this is for whatever I'm planning is this one, but next year we will start with big microservices thing. But this is what I'm thinking, which we will wrap up because September, October, November, December, 4 months, 4 3s are 12 hours, full labs, hands-on, zero slides. And now itself is 10 or 15% slides or documentation, but those hands-on labs is zero, directly labs, and labs, all 12 labs. So this we are starting from October. So Docker, Kubernetes, and Azure Kubernetes for absolute beginners. This is a prerequisite for my microservice series, which I'll be doing starting Jan or Feb 2023, apart from AZ-104 series. So AZ-104 certification or AI 900 or DP 900. I don't know what I'll be doing, but I'm mostly inclining towards the AZ-104 series. So why we are doing this one is if you see my other uh, other series on this one is you see this is the microservices eShop. How do you create cloud native, architect and code it? And for this to understand, we need at least those fundamentals, whatever we are talking over here, like introduction to Kubernetes and what is Docker Desktop Community Edition, and deploy 3-tier apps in Docker containers using Docker Compose, and introduction to Kubernetes and hands-on Minikube, and hands-on AKS with imperative approach, hands-on AKS with declarative approach, and deploy AKS cluster and deploy your first microservice and application packaging using Helm charts, and deploy infrastructure using application and GitHub actions. So at least these fundamentals should be covered. If you see that this e-commerce series, that's a pretty much 50 sessions. It's not going to be completed in 30 sessions. Like even if you do 2 episodes every month, so definitely 1.5 years. So it's like a journey with your blood, sweat, and tears. See, the first microservice itself, it's coming around 10 sessions. Just this one microservice, products microservice. People might ask, is it overkill? No, it's not an overkill because for you to go and create uh, a decent microservice, you definitely need all these things. So we will take time to go over all these things, but I just want to take a quick minute to show that why do we need? You need either Terraform, Biceps, or ARM. You need to know the knowledge on infrastructure as a code. How do you do that? Okay, and what is Terraform state? If you're using Terraform or Biceps, no matter what are resource ARM templates. Okay, how do you provision these resources? And how do you do pull requests? I mean, the entire DevOps, you need to know that at least, like you take a feature branch, you raise a pull request, gated build will run, and then someone will review. The code gets merged into the master branch. Then you will run a CI build. It generates the artifacts. Then the release pipeline kicks in and it deploys your infrastructure. And you have a build pipeline for deploying the infrastructure. So you do a Terraform scan and you do a build, and it waits for the pull request to be merged. So someone approves it, then the pull request gets merged. Now these three actions, scan, build, and gated build and CI build will run. Now it's waiting on someone to approve you. So like this is one episode. Like this, you need to know a lot of other things, like how do you do shell scripts, how do you do PowerShell scripts, how do you do automated testing, how do you deploy to Kubernetes, how do you deploy to Docker, how do you deploy to Docker Compose through Docker Compose, a lot of things. So I felt this is a prerequisite for us. So keep a watch. This is most probably starting in October. So anything is interesting, you guys can unmute and you can speak. This, whatever the new series which I'm starting, is it interesting, folks? Docker, Kubernetes are AKs for absolute beginners. That's also purely hands-on. Pani kam doodh zyada chai types, less of a discussion, more of a hands-on. Anything else you want to discuss, folks? Sudhanshu Bhushan, Manish, Ranjit, Brijesh, Melvin, Shafaili. I don't know whether I'm pronouncing your name properly or not. I'm sorry if I'm not. Nirmalia.
Hello, can I ask?
Yeah, Anmol, go ahead, Anmol.
Yeah. So, like I'm new to the Azure now. I'm learning. It's beginning level. I learned something on Databricks on the Azure. For my aim is to become a data engineer with Azure. So, what will be your guidance for that? Please elaborate.
Okay, so for this data engineer, there is DP 900 cert. So in MS Learn, you have very good content for DP 900. They give the uh, uh, course content and the hands-on labs also there for that. So get going with that. And as I was mentioning, 2023, which is 5 months down the lane, I might start with DP 900 or AI 900 or AZ-104. I'm not sure, but I'm seeing it. Apart from the architectural series, which I was planning for that. Just now I've shown you, isn't it? Cloud native apps. So I'll see that. If I'm able to start, I'll start this DP 900.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, Swamy.
Yeah,
Am I- Yeah. So actually, today's session was based on mainly on event based, how to capture the events triggering from some components.
Yeah.
But at the end,
Even if you see in that event base, we only covered 50% event grids. We didn't even
yeah,
touch
only
the
event grid.
events. Yeah, event
But
grid.
the scenario you just described the end of the session, like message traveling from service bus, Azure
Yeah,
function consuming that, keeping it
right.
as storage.
Uh,
So, like my thinking is that when considering architecting a application, when you will consider a event and when you will consider a message, because I believe like this event grid is not built for message consuming or message triggering, like. So when I will consider for a event based components and when I will consider for a message based component
right.
in a
So
very short way.
yeah. So whether you're doing a reactive programming or whether you want an event bus, so that's where you will decide what is that you need it. Okay.
Okay.
So when to choose what? That's what you're asking, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
when to choose what, yeah.
When to choose what? So see this. What is this event event grid. This is what event-based architecture. That's like a reactive programming. So you react, see this event-driven architecture, and that's like a reactive programming. Like
Okay.
someone is producing the events. Here is the ingestion, and there are consumers. These guys don't do anything until you tell them, hey, this is what it is. And imagine a scenario um, where you have a service where you have a service bus queue, and you're placing an order in some site, and you have swiped your card or given your payment mechanism. So what happens is that guy has to go talk to the payment gateway. Let's assume ABC. ABC go talks to XYZ, and then that goes and talks to the bank. I'm just creating a fictitious scenario, and it comes. So you don't expect that you will wait for 30-40 seconds staring at the screen while the payment happens. So what those guys will do it, the moment you do the payment, they'll drop a message in the some queue, enterprise service bus queue, maybe Kafka or whatever the service, RabbitMQ or service bus queue, you drop it. And then the other side of the world, there are some processors who will get notified the moment you drop the message. They go process it. Even if it is taking 15-20 minutes time, they'll come back and say that the payment has been done, and that will be notified to the shopping application where you have purchased it. So those kind of mechanisms you use messaging, and the event-driven architecture or reactive programming, you do this. Am I making sense?
Thanks so much. Thanks. Very crystal clear. Thanks so much. Yeah.
You're from Bengal?
Yeah. Correct. Bengal. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Anyone else? Shafali Kanoja. I think so. Divyang. Melvin, anything from you, Melvin? Anyone else? ARJ. Anmol, you spoke. Anyone else? Manish? Sudhanshu Bhushan? Anish Kumar, Ashwin Natraj, Brijesh Kotari, Leena, Mahesh, Nirmalia, you spoke. Ranjit, anything from your side? Shafali, Sudhanshu, Uma? You guys can unmute and speak if nothing is there. So let's catch up on 24th September with authentication and authorization. Watch out for additional session. We thought of to wind up in 21 sessions. I think looks like we'll do it 22nd session because we have to discuss event hubs and anything which is spilling over from authentication and authorization session. Those two will come in 22, and later on from September 24th onwards, we will have 3 hours workshops, full on labs, right? And the new series, the Kubernetes series. Anyone is interested in the Kubernetes series from this group? You can raise the thumbs up. If you're unwilling to speak to me, you can at least raise the thumbs up. Okay, Uma, Sudhanshu, thanks, Anmol. Okay, good. We have a good number of things. So we'll do it. It's like a beginner friendly that I'll take you very slowly. I'm initially planning 8 sessions, but I might bump it up to 10 or 12. There is no limit to the number of sessions. You see that I want we to learn the subject and knowledge. It's not that that is the reason I didn't squeeze both event grids and event hubs in this session, because we will learn to a decent extent, if not a deep dive, at least to a decent extent. Okay, so thanks so much, folks, and watch out for that. This year and next year will be full of action, and let's go deep into certifications and parallelly focus on microservices, which is the need of the hour. Thank you so much and stay safe. See you on 24th September. Bye.
Thank you, Swami, and thank you everyone for joining us today. Please do share your feedback about today's session. Also, please feel free to use the Learn module link shared in the display right now. This will give you access to additional resources to take your learning further. Also, please visit our Microsoft Reactor Bengaluru meetup page for more upcoming sessions. Thank you all once again and enjoy the rest of your day.
Bye, folks.